What's going on, guys? Welcome back. As you recall, last week we installed the A3 with full E85 on the dyno, threw down some pretty massive gains, but we're having a little issue with the high pressure fuel pump keeping that fuel pressure up. So today we're going to install a high pressure fuel pump so we can keep up with fuel pressure. Let's get into it. As you guys already know, remove this engine cover. Set that off to the side. So here's the high pressure fuel pump. This is what we'll be removing today. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and disconnect the fuel line. You guys can disconnect it from up here. I'm gonna do it down here so I don't have to break the clamp. We're gonna keep that there just in case some fuel decides to come out. Do not open your driver's side door unless you disconnect your battery, or the fuel pump will kick on and squirt it everywhere. Now that that's done, we're gonna go and get to this fuel line down here. We could remove the air box. It's not the world's hardest thing to do. I might just remove the air box to make it a little easier, so let's do that. Grab a little pick. Right here. Get that out. That's off. So I usually start in this corner, get down below, give her a good yank. Good yank, there we go. There we go. So we got a 17mm wrench here. Go ahead and turn it righty-tighty because don't forget we're underneath, so it's the opposite way. We got this coolant line right here. It's kind of getting in our way. Here, let me get a small wrench. Alrighty, this will help. If you wish, put this in there. I mean, nothing should squirt out, but if it does. All right, so I'm gonna put the rag right here to catch some fuel. It's a hot engine, it could combust, but I don't really think that's the case. Next thing you need to do is take off these bolts, take this connector off. You guys know how I like using my pick. There we go. All right, let's take those bolts out. So we're using a ZN14 is what they call it, triple square. Now, next thing we're gonna do, it's pretty warm, but I'm just gonna wiggle it. There we go. Kind of push this fuel line down just a smidge. Oh, it's trying to squirt out. So I'm gonna put this right here. Without damaging the mating surface, I'm gonna use this to kind of pry it out. Push that fuel line back. Fuel line's pretty tight up there. I just want to relieve that fuel pressure. So I'm going to remove this boost hose. I'm not going to remove the hose, but just break this off so I can get some room. It's a little tight and the high pressure fuel pump is hot. This engine was just ran. So back that off. There we go. It's going to give us a little more room to go back there. Then we have a T25. I'm gonna get a magnet so I don't drop that bolt. There we go. All right, now I can remove the fuel line. Oh, it's still tight even with that moved. There we go. All right, high pressure fuel pump is out. Go put it on the bench. So I'm gonna try using this. There's this tool to do this right. I did not get it in time. I'm trying to get this done here, so let's try this. I'm gonna press this down. Nothing too crazy until the spring's pretty much compressed. Both on there pretty nice. There we go, look at that. That's a clean removal, just saying. For those of you who don't have the tool. This again, you can get this from Harbor Freight, spring compressor tool, or Sears. Honestly, I think I got it from Sears. So back this off. All right, let's go over to the vise. Alrighty, good to go ahead and remove this. Set this off this side. Remember guys, keep a clean work area. All right, so apparently this thing is gonna go here. Wow, that is loose, they're not lying. Watched a couple videos, they talked about that. And we got a good old 27. So let's see what we can do here. A little excessive on the breaker bar, but I wanna see what it's all about. So, here we go. Boom. Oh, should want just a smidge more. You guys heard it a million times, there's a seal here. We want to be gentle. When we were prying on it before, you know, we don't want to go sideways, we want to go straight up. All right. Oh yeah, we're draining fuel on the ground right now. Push this through. Go. All right, here's the new one, Autotech. Please do not let me down. You got this. Get that in there. Put this back in here. This is where the seal part is. We want to be really fragile. Really careful, sorry. Beautiful. I'm guessing that's where people like hit this lip and they'll cut that seal and you won't be able to retain fuel pressure. All right. We're gonna call that Guten tight. You guys should be able to feel it. All right, back over to the press. Alrighty, so I highly recommend this press for this job because you can't get it off angle and then you're gonna tear the seal inside there. So we got some keepers we need to put in, and that's why we have a keeper tool. There we go. Compress it down a little bit. We don't need these. Nothing too crazy. Oh, it's magnetized, there we go. Cool, one side in. Oh, no, it's not. One side in. The press not going. Oh. Okay. Just like that, boys. All right, swinging it out. Done and done. So here's the tool I use. It's a spring compressor tool, but this is part of it. I took it off right here. Makes the job a lot easier in a press because that seal can get damaged in there and game over. All right guys, time to install the fuel pump. Don't let this seal be dry. Honestly, it needs a little lubrication to slide in here. You don't want to cut the seal. I'm gonna install it sideways a little bit here and see if I can line it up with this. Just like I did. There we go, let it fall into place there. All right. We're gonna use the screws to kind of pull it in, going in a back and forth direction. All right, so we have M8 bolts. The torque spec is gonna be 20 Newton meters. I put some Loctite on it because why not? Blue Loctite, not red. All right, so what I'm gonna do is gonna go in a back and forth tightening sequence. Couple of cranks here. Get your bit back. Stop there, feel resistance. Stop there, feel resistance. Feel resistance. There we go, that's tight. The torque spec is 20 Newton meters. You kind of want it, you want it to go on easy. If not, that means the line needs to be bent in the right orientation. See, mine's not going easy, I gotta. There you go, see how easy that is? All right, grab your 17mm wrench. Let's torque this down. Don't forget, we're not going righty-tighty, we're going lefty-loosey because it's upside down. Don't break this plastic hose right here, even though you want to because it just sounds like fun stuff. All right, nothing too crazy, but it needs to be tight. It's your fuel line, so that seems about right. All right, let's get these brackets back installed. You don't have to remove this bracket here, guys. Just so you know, I did this just to give me a little easier access. Most of you want a quicker job and all that, but it's to each their own. If you want to make some room for yourself, go ahead. Make it easier. All right. All right, let's put this back in. Plug this connector back in before I forget about it. The little cheat to this, guys, is this hose. It's gonna get in your way. So just, nope, it's gonna go behind this line here. Watch this. Actually, sorry, in front of the line. Right there, see how I pushed that over there? Go over here. Just like that, see? Nice, easy. Go. Alrighty, to go over everything, just make sure this nut's tight. You have the connector connected, fuel line's on the guided path. Everything's nice and tight. If you unplug that, plug that back in, because that'll cause issues. And let's put your engine cover back on. Actually, don't put that on just yet. We're gonna start this thing up and we need to inspect to make sure we have no fuel leaks. All right, so guys, note, we need to get fuel pressure up here before we start it up, just so we don't have air in the lines and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open the door, it's gonna kick on. If it doesn't, cycle the key. And then, here, listen to it, ready? All right, fuel pressure did not, oh, actually I heard the fuel pump. Okay, kicked on, key on, engine off. There we go, I heard it. Shut the door. One more time. Open the door. Key on, engine off. There we go. We should have enough fuel pressure by this time. Let's go ahead and crank this thing on. As you saw, took an excessive amount of cranking. There was still air in the line. Inspect to make sure we have no fuel. Sounding good. All right, let's shut it down. Well, there you have it, guys. Not too hard of a job if you have the right tools. I would highly recommend having a hydraulic press with that little specialty tool. It's the valve keeper tool. As you see, a lot of people are trying to use one little flathead on it and they're pushing the rod to the left or right, and you got a seal down here. So you just pushed it to the left or right, you could snip the seal. You damage the whole part. Then what you're gonna do is have fuel in your oil, and that's not a good thing, unless you're trying to clean your engine. Now, other key notes, lubricate the rod when you're putting it in so it smoothly goes in and doesn't clip the O-ring again. And probably, you know, cycling the key excessive amount of times. It took a little bit of excessive cranking, which isn't the worst, but hey, it's always good to have lubrication and fuel on the high pressure fuel pump when you're cranking the car up. So to go over the issue with you guys, I was having an issue when I was in 4th gear and I would just punch it out of nowhere. The fuel pressure had a hard time raising the pressure and then keeping up, but once I shifted gears, it was fine. And you could feel a little bit of misfire, stutter, fuel cut, so it's not good. Here we go, it's in 6, but same thing. Oops, actually I'm not gonna go in sport. I'm gonna go in drive here, and I'm gonna press OK. That's all we need right there. That's usually when we had the issue. Get EPC, you know the whole works. So right now we're stage 1, full E85. And this is when you're gonna have this issue, going straight full E85. But upgraded high pressure fuel pump should solve it. We just took a log, so we're gonna actually show you guys what that log has to show. So guys, I really wanna show you the actual data of what changed when we changed the part. This over here is the old high pressure fuel pump, stock high pressure fuel pump. This is the new high pressure fuel pump. See over here, we have 6,129 RPMs. This is when I was in that gear, you guys watching the video. I dropped the gear and then boom, I'm coming up. Here's my high pressure fuel pressure, 218. It's 218,000 bar, but either way, or well, probably PSI, but 218, right? I want to be above 200 PSI during this whole run, which we are. See right here, the lowest point, which is right when we get back into the next gear. I'm at 203 over here. So I'm gonna go show you the previous. This is when I dropped gears. Boom, at 3,091 RPMs. And you see fuel pressure at 137, guys. That is disgustingly low. That is, the car is freaking out. So why do we need high pressure so high? Well, we have E85 and it requests more fuel. What does that mean? It means we can't change injectors on it because this is a direct injection car. So we up the fuel pressure to inject more cc's of fuel for that millisecond that the injector's open. So we only had 130 PSI. That means I couldn't get enough cc's of fuel into the cylinder. I mean, look at this. Let's scroll through this so you can watch data. Look at this number while I scroll through this. This is the car struggling through the RPMs. Struggling. I'm almost there at 6,000 RPMs. I'm almost at 200. And then it just starts falling off again. I mean, we're not even fully done through the run. That's disgusting. Then we shift into the next gear. 146, guys, or 164 right here. Yuck, not happy. Going through the RPMs again. We finally gain my pressure is above 200, where you want to be. Finally on the next gear, and that's just disgusting. So let me show you the car actually misfiring during that run. So I'm going to compare. I'm not going to compare. I'm going to open up this one. Let's just show you the run. Here's the run without the comparing action. Here's my misfire counter. That's just the total. All right. So through the run, let's get the high pressure fuel pump on here. Fuel rail pressure. This is misfire, guys. Just to let you know. See, misfire count was at 0. During my run, boom, I hit, what is this at? I had 4 misfires through all the cylinders, which is disgusting. You do not want to misfire at high horsepower. You can hurt your engine, but this is not too much power, so the engine's going to take this and accept it. Now, we're getting to the top here. Guys, we got 11 misfires. That is disgusting. Now let's show you fuel pressure so you can see where it started misfiring. Fuel pressure is stupid low, but it's okay because we're not moving too much air. Now we're getting into the RPMs here. Look at this coming in. This is where we got our first misfire at 5,600 RPM. Coming over here, right at 6,600, we just get misfires. This is just all due to fuel pressure. So now you guys can see, let me show you the other one, how many misfires we had on it. Let's spread this run out so you guys can see it. Fuel pressure doing good. Misfire count. Look at that. 0 misfires. Fuel pressure is above 200 the whole time. This is during the gear shift, so I don't care about fuel pressure during the gear shift. So right when we get back into it, See, this is where we pick up. I'm already starting at 205 PSI into my next pull, and the thing is doing phenomenally. It's not even stressing. So we're not overworking the high pressure fuel pump. The engine's healthy because we're injecting the right cc's of fuel. This is a happy engine, guys. This is why you need to upgrade your high pressure fuel pump. There you have it. That's the data side of it. That's the end of the install. Thank you for tuning in. Comment down below if you have some questions. And like always, stay BDT tuned.